Juju Watkins. Juju Watkins risked everything, risked USC's title run in order to stat pad. Well, maybe. Some also might say it was an absolute ridiculous decision by her coach. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out, of course, to the 19. So let's go. What happened in USC's first round victory? Well, Juju Watkins, as you will see here, rolls her ankle going to the basket. I have another angle that you can see it better. I think this is the second time this season where she's done this. Anybody who's played ball. Now, she did the whole "I'm kind of hurt" thing, but look, I'm going to limp out. They forgot all about her, and then she nails the three. I've seen that before, by the way. I saw that the other day in an NBA game that was very similar, where a guy went down, kind of faked the injury. They forgot about him. He stood up. He's wide open, nails a three-point shot. But here's the thing. This is why USC coach facing backlash for Juju Watkins' decision in NCAA tournament. So a couple things going on here, and I think if I have it here, this is, I believe, Juju exiting. This is exiting with the hop. Now, one thing I will say again, just having experience with doing this, having experience with coaching athletes and so forth. The fact that she's doing the hobbling, and I thought there was another angle. I don't think I have it here, where I think I saw one where they showed a little more of her going back to the locker room, kind of that hop skip thing that tells me that it's not that bad. In other words, I mean, it hurts, but the fact that she can do sort of that hop run on it is a good sign. But so why is she facing backlash? Well, they won 71-25. And after what you just saw, Juju Watkins went back into the game. Now she only played about 3 more minutes. I think she scored another basket, ended up with 22 points, and then she came out. But there was no business whatsoever for her to be back in that game. Now, UCLA, I mean UCLA, USC did not play well at all. And this shows you again a lot of the big, huge talent gap in the women's game. 71-25, yet they shot 37.5% from the field. They had 17 turnovers. They simply didn't play well. Now, this comment here by the writer here, this is really bizarre. This forced coach Lindsey Gottlieb to keep playing Watkins despite the big lead. No, it didn't. There was no way at all that USC was going to lose this game. I believe when Juju went back in, USC was up 52 or 53 to 16, something like that, which is absolutely wild. But that you think in the fourth quarter with that kind of lead, when you're up, almost 40 points, that you're going to put someone like that back into the game who has already hurt her ankle. So if we take a look at this here, another angle, you will see what she does. I also want you to notice the score with 3:39 to go in the third, up 43-15. So there's where she's limping out. And again, for someone who just rolled their ankle, she's moving well. But you'll see it here. Watch her left foot right there. Boom. Ow, ow. And can I say ow? Again, any of you who have played the game or even maybe in soccer or so forth, and then again, we see she comes out and nails the three. But you know that that hurts a lot. Now, sometimes something like that becomes a really, really serious ankle sprain that can keep you out for a long time. But also, if you recover quickly enough from it and don't let it go too far, or when it does turn like that, you don't put too much weight down on it, it can be something that hurts like a mofo when you do it. And you can sort of walk it off and kind of work your way back into it not being that bad, where it might be a little tender, but you get back into playing and everything is fine. But again, if you saw that score when it happened, 43-15, I think she went back in at 53-16 or something like that, and that is why you have a lot of people set with the coach. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because is it the coach? That's what's interesting. Like Juju Watkins starts the fourth quarter with USC leading 53-16. No idea why she's playing. And here's the thing for me. This is what I have a big issue with. Is really she shouldn't have been playing at all to start the fourth quarter. And what I mean by that is even if she hadn't rolled her ankle like that, why is she playing to start the fourth quarter leading 53-16? It doesn't make any sense at all. Coach, why would you have Juju Watkins in the game up damn near 30, actually close to 40, right? Close to 40. Juju Watkins doesn't even need to be in the game at this point. Why is Juju in the game? Why are any of the starters in the game? You're up 40 basically with 8 minutes to go. Juju just gave haters a clip. Please get us out, coach. Not gonna lie, putting Juju back on the court is dumb to me. You're up 40 and she had 2 injury scares. She's 19. Of course, she wants to keep playing as a coach. You have to pump the brakes. Now, that part is interesting because there is a little truth to that. And by the way, the 2 injury scares is she also hurt her hand, or at least, after going up the basket and either losing it or getting blocked or what have you. I think there was some contact and she was sort of shaking it off. But to this point is if her ankle was hurt, now I'm guessing she went back into the locker room, so I'm guessing that she was looked at and maybe they tested it out and cleared her, and she gave the okay. That's the other thing here. We're not talking about just who the coach puts in up that much to start the fourth. With looking at it, the injury, you have that as well, is, hey, as a player, you need to be able to say to your coach, and I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, she's 19," but come on, I know players that did it at young ages with me, and players in high school that did it as well. Is you have to understand that if you truly are hurt and you don't think going back in is a good idea for you, you have to say that. You have to say that to the coach, and so what I'm saying is Juju has to take a little bit of responsibility here. She also could have gone to the coach and said, "Hey, I'm ready to go." The coach should have, when she came back to the bench, the coach should have said, "Hey, how you feel? Are you okay? Can you play?" And Juju says, "Yes." Well, then in terms of the injury, why would the coach not put her back in? Now, again, that is separate from, that's why I think there are two issues here because even if she's healthy, I don't know why she's starting the fourth quarter up 53-16 in the first round of the NCAA tournament run where you are trying to win a title. You are a number one seed in this tournament. You are trying to win an NCAA championship. Why are you risking Juju Watkins, even if she didn't have the ankle injury? But like again, I say why Juju needs to bear some responsibility in terms of the injury is I promise. Well, look, I can't guarantee anything. Obviously, I wasn't there, but I wanna say that I'm confident enough to say I promise you, as someone who's been player and coach in these situations, the coach is going to ask when Juju comes out, "How are you feeling? Are you okay? Can you play?" And then Juju has to answer that question honestly. If she answered it honestly, then in terms of putting her back in after the injury, we can't blame the coach. If she didn't answer it honestly and said, "Yeah, I'm good to go," and she isn't, again, we can't really blame the coach. I can blame the coach for just putting her in up 53-16, regardless of the injury. But yeah, this is what's so bizarre too is well, in general to this point, again, USC didn't even play well, and yet they won 71-25. So there's a long way to go before we have the kind of widespread talent parity in the women's game that we have in the men's. Is it a lot more than it was 10 years ago? Absolutely. And obviously these things just going to take time because USC, look, Kiki's 6 of 15, Juju 8 of 17, 1 of 5 from 3. 2 assists, 3 turnovers. Marshall 2 of 8, Smith 0 of 5. They did not play well. And like I said, 17 turnovers. Kiki had 6 turnovers. Absolutely wild and simply not good enough, and yet they win 71-25. So anyway, I'm really curious what you all think about who is to blame. For me, there's a little blame to go around. I think regardless of the injury, the coach is to blame for putting her in. Specific to the injury, I think that Juju has a little bit of blame because I'm sure she was asked and she had to say, "Yeah, I'm good." And then the coach has to say, "You know what? Let's not risk it. It doesn't make sense. We're up 53-16. There's no reason to risk further injury by putting you in or just making it worse by you playing on it. It just doesn't make sense." Now, I saw one commenter who also wasn't in that article, and they said about, "Oh, well, they probably just put her in to test it out." Well, testing out is something you do in a controlled environment. That's what should have been done and probably was done in the locker room. You don't test it out in the chaotic environment of a competitive game, especially an NCAA tournament game. So that's a little wild to me. But yeah, for me, there's a little bit of both of them. I think they both have some responsibility, some culpability here, and we'll see how this goes going forward. Keep an eye on, see how it looks, because that was a nasty looking roll. But as bizarre as it may sound, sometimes you see a roll like that, and it is just hurts like a mofo when it happens, and it wears off, and you're ready to go the next game. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate you checking out these videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps tremendously with the channel. It's the only way other people even know the video exists. I'm going to leave it there. I will talk to you later.